What up, America? What up, world? Welcome to A Better Black America podcast, the #1 urban podcast stateside and worldwide. Now, today is Friday, May 20th, 2022. Happy Friday to you. Build and destroy. The number 8. The number 8. We have to make a decision. What are we going to do? A Better Black America is the brand. So anytime you listen to A Better Black America podcast, everything is predicated on making America better for Black people. Because for some strange reason, we didn't even get a chance to construct. You know, there was a Reconstruction period at the end of the Civil War, and somehow they doubled down on slavery with the criminalization clause. But everything about A Better Black America is to rise the consciousness because we was asleep. And this is why they want to keep us asleep. I'm sure you've heard the term before. They woke up a sleeping giant. So we are all sleeping giants, even when we're woke, because the system is predicated on us bowing down and lowering our standards to make them feel comfortable. But now we're living in a time where we cannot make them feel comfortable because we're not comfortable ourselves. Now, we're very comfortable in uncomfortable situations, but that's not the goal. The goal is to take this discomfort right now because they say pressure busts pipes. And sometimes when a pipe busts, that's not a good thing, but it also makes diamonds. And diamonds could be priceless if they're protected and the glitz and the shine is something special that any other stone can't do or create. But we as Black Americans, as humanists, as the moral standard, the bar when it comes to humanity here in America, we have to take the throne. And when I say take the throne, mean participate in what's going on here in this country and accept the role as not liabilities, but accept the role as being assets. We are assets. Now, all of the confusion that's going on right now in this world is by design, because somehow they want us to be confused and hoodwinked and bamboozled and running amok and confused and falling for any and everything. Now, we know the Popeye's chicken sandwich was the catalyst to kick off the COVID-19 restrictions and the lines to get vaccinated. And now it seems like Taco Bell is bringing back the Mexican pizza. So we've seen this dance before. They play everybody in every culture at the same time. See, we here in the community, us Black people, it's like we're seasonal. You know, we're seasonal every 3 years. You know, we'll do some things in the Black community and make it seem like it's some inclusiveness, make it seem like we're connected, make it seem like we're on the same squad, but no longer. No longer. Because today is Friday, March 19th was yesterday, May 19th was yesterday. And I had a very interesting thought, and thoughts turn into theories, and theories turn into science. And then that science is practice. The Black man, and that's any Black man that feeling a little disturbed when it comes to things that he can't control. And I'm saying this because on this Friday, May 20th, we're declaring and we're accepting our position in society. And I'm going to say this again. We are accepting our position in society, in our community, to be beacons, to be, pillars in the community, to do things not from a man's perspective, but from a most high perspective. Now, the cross is very interesting if you pay attention to it. Some people could say it's just a cross, a line here, a line there. But a conscious person will say that the horizontal is for humanity and the vertical is for God. And I always say we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities and evildoers in high places. I say that all the time. And what I mean is, men, we have to start looking up. And when I say start looking up to the sky. Looking up to the sky will block out any of these horizontal issues that we're dealing with and get you to focus. And there's so much going on. And I'm talking about opening your eyes and look to the sky. Some people understands this. Keep your head to the sky. Because we don't want to be affected by flesh. And flesh is very, very disturbed right now because they're spiraling because there is a lost cause. Now, when you are dealing in something that's fraudulent, it's just a matter of time where the truth will come out. And the truth is starting to come out. And on this Friday, we need to turn the heat up. And when I say turn the heat up, press the line. Because we've never in American history or even seen any documentation of a move to the next level when it comes to the black community. Now, in the 60s, that assassin's bullet murdered every movement, killed any hope. This is why when you talk to a baby boomer and tell them, what you about to do, they don't want to hear that. Their whole lives been predicated on, we about to make it and we got played again. We about to make it, we got played again. Every 4 years. And the process starts the year prior. Just like now. I could just only imagine a Democratic person that's been a Democrat their whole lives voted for the Biden administration, thinking something was going to change. Finally, we can, get the racist people out the White House, and now we could just do what we need to do and the world could get better. Biden, first day in office, just blew it. Afghanistan, destabilization, inflation, gas prices, wars. And now I see the head starting to drop. I see the sadness, especially in black people, because of the black community. God put me in positions where I'm a community person. I'm very tribal. I love my people and I'm very comfortable around my people. But I see the heads starting to drop. And a lot of the men didn't have skin in the game because some of the men who's claimed that they didn't show up at the polls, but somehow Biden got over 85 million votes somehow. But every man that I talk to say, oh, I didn't vote for Biden, which is, I don't understand. But these heads are starting to drop. The morale is low because I remember leading up to the election, all that energy, all that smoke. We had the Black Lives Matters. We had the George Floyd situation. We had all of these things, these significant events, pandemics. They shut us down and put us in the house. But somehow we was able to come outside and rally and protest and write Black Lives Matters all over the streets. And now the heads are dropping. The leaders of the Black Lives Matters movement, scared of conservatives, crying, afraid for their lives. What's going on? But where is that energy? Where is that same energy that you had, during the election time, prior to the election? All of the debates, the 4 years under the Trump administration. The disrespect, the clipping at the testicles of men, forcing men to choose a side, forcing black men to tuck their tails and get behind their women and fight for the women's rights and fight for the emotion and all of the things and the rudiments that goes against the man code. So we're not going to forget about that. See, when you're on the wrong side of history, when you're wrong, you shut up real quick. It's like betting someone in a sporting event and one person called it. This was going to happen. It's going to be a blowout. So-and-so going to score this many points. I guarantee you, I got 100. What's up? And somebody just challenges that because somehow something rises up in people when they see confident people. So non-confident people just challenges. Didn't really need any money, but I'll take that bet. You don't know what you're talking about. But then the game happens. I'm using sports as a metaphor, and you can pick whatever metaphor, whatever, reference. But this is the metaphor to losing, the disrespect when it comes to sports, politics, and anything else. So now something rose up in you. You threw the money down because you basically don't think he's right. You don't like the fact that he saying what he's saying. Who are you? You don't know what you're talking about. How you know that? We'll see. So now you throw your $100 down and now you invest it. And just imagine if that $100 was your vote. Now you invested. You already sent your vote in. The election ain't even here. You put your ballot in the box and now you're on the internet trolling, going crazy, just like the sporting event. The game haven't started yet. Somebody predicted it. Something rose up in you. I'm not speaking of anybody in particular, but the opposition, because I'm going somewhere with this. So now you're the op and you really don't even have a vested interest at all. The only reason you choose or chose that side is to agitate, to call out, to be in opposition, to basically make sure that this person ain't right because you want to say he don't know what he's talking about. So based on something that you can't control, you invested in it. Game haven't even started yet, but you threw that $100 down. And now you go on his timeline. And he's basically having a conversation amongst his people, his close knit of friends, his 30, 40 people that he only can reach. And they're having a conversation. And he has some supporters, metaphorically speaking. Sports is the greatest metaphor. He has some supporters. Hey, man, I heard what you said. And I agree with you. I think they're going to win. Everything that you said, I looked at the situation and I've been paying attention. So I'm saying, I agree with you. Thank you. Thank you, caller. Thank you. Next caller. Hey, you on to something, man. You the prophet. Cause I said the same thing. So I'm throwing my 100 down. I went on sportsbook.com and I went and put my 100 down and the team that you said was going to win is plus 300. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that 100 down and make that money because I like what you're saying. You sort of like a guru. You know what you're talking about. So just imagine how the opposition feels. The opposition had zero interest in the sport, zero interest in the bet or even gambling. But for some strange reason, he involved because he threw that $100 down as a challenge just because something rose up in him. No difference from going in that ballot box, voting for somebody that you have no vested interest in, that is clearly the worst of the two evils and literally will kill you. And you go in there and vote for him. And since you invested in that because you were told to do that, you didn't do your due diligence and check his checks and balances and check the history and check the crime bill and check 94 and check the racist stuff and check the history and check all of the things that they were really telling us what was going on. Same thing with the sport. You didn't look at the stats. You didn't see that this team has beat that other team 9 times in a row. You didn't look at the productivity